waiting to reload, and my V2s are hanging back. Look at that, that's another nice shot from my opponent. And they've got a small force here, but it's idle. And they've sent paratroopers, and their aircraft, look how many of my infantry they just splattered. Ouch.
Battle control initialized.
Hello there, comrades and cannon fodder. It's Devoid here. I've got a 1v1 multiplayer game, and we're on Woodlands map for this one. I'm using Russia, and my opponent's using Russia as well. We've got a couple of spectators for this one. So I'm in red in the bottom right, and my opponent is in this mint colour in the top left. So we've got our barracks placed. Right, I've sent out 3 rifles towards the map centre, and I'm going to secure my closest oil derrick while I'm at it. The second closest, I should say. Now, this rifleman is going to guard this closest oil derrick while my engineer moves to capture it. Now, the rest of my infantry move forward. But as these 3 riflemen passed, they've cleared away the barrel on this side. And my opponent appears to have stopped at protecting their engineer. So my rifleman, could he have made it? They nearly got the capture. No, not quite. But he could shoot the barrel now and kill the engineer. So, yeah, not great. But I placed that rifleman there because I was going on the timing of my engineer, as if the enemy had captured this first and is now moving between the 2 oil derricks. That's why I placed it there. Whereas my opponent has got a dog and is moving around to attack my oil derrick from behind, so I don't get the benefit of the view range. But I've only just started to capture anyway, so I'm in trouble here. My opponent's going to have the view range of the dog. So there you can see my units, look, and I can't see them. There we go. Now, because of the capture, I can. Luckily, I had those 3 riflemen left, and the enemy engineer strayed into danger. And I've moved my engineer away, and I'm now training units to come and back up my 2 surviving veterans. And I shouldn't have moved forward like that, should have stayed back. Because the dog will give them superior view range. Look at that, you can see my units. I can't see them, look. I got a shot off as they fled, but the dog escaped, and that's as far as I'm pursuing. So we've got... Now my opponent is capturing the second oil derrick, but they did have to train a second engineer. But with both... well, I've got 2 oil derricks, my opponent's got 1. Now they've got 2. So I had 2 I had 2-to-1 advantage for a little while there. And my opponent's moving around with these, hoping to cause some trouble, I guess. You're not going to do a lot with 2 riflemen. But I'm moving my units back and defending this oil derrick, because I've sent my APC with 5 grenadiers on a grenadier raid, a gren drop, while I'm training the rest of my riflemen and placing rifle guards. I've taken the chance and taking the risk of doing this. That's why my units aren't moving out into the field, because my scout vehicle and my early screening vehicle obviously won't be with them. So it does mean I'm on the defensive more. There I've got my service depot. My opponent's gone for a radar dome and airfield instead. So they're going for a very different build. There's my engineer still going, and my opponent's second engineer is there. Here's my APC, and my opponent's ready immediately. So I've moved away, and I've lost 1 grenadier, but all 3 were killed by that 1 shot. And now I'm throwing grenades at the power plant, the advanced power plant, but it's got no hope of doing any worthwhile damage. So I lost 5 grenadiers for nothing. At least I saved my APC, that's something. But now my opponent's got aircraft. Look how much view range you get from them, they're brilliant. And my opponent now knows I've got a small force here. There's my second MCV. And they're moving in because they've got the view range of the aircraft and give them a real good advantage, especially as I've got no vehicles on site. And there's my rifle scouts telling me where the enemy is, and there's a second aircraft for my opponent. So, and this, my APC is staying on site to watch for my opponent's expansion because I'm not aware. I've seen the radar dome and know about aircraft, but I don't know that they haven't got a service depot, and my APC only just escaped. Look, very little health left, but it's going in for repairs. Look, I've got it on shift command, and now I've built my first heavy tank. I've ordered three. There's my second mobile flak, and there's the third. Look, I've ordered 3 of these straight away because I know my opponent's got aircraft, and I have to counter that immediately. I can't have, once I've got 3, 3 can destroy a refinery. So my opponent could destroy this refinery and it would cut off my money supply badly. So that's why I need to protect it. I need those flak trucks there, and there's a second one. So I've got all 3 here at the moment, but yeah, I'm sending one back. Look, that's the best bet. There's 2 planes together. It'd be better off with them on their own because you get no more view range from those 2, yet they could both stray into the same danger and be destroyed. And you would gain nothing for having 2 there rather than 1. But there's 3, and they're going to check everything out, checking my expansion progress. Let's have a look at the early army values. 15,000 army value each, exactly. Now, I've lost a flak truck, but there's 2 aircraft taken out. Very nice. And there's the next flak trucks moving forward. It is a bit reckless, and I couldn't get away in time. No chance. They're nippy, but not that much. And now my opponent's got a service depot, but they've only got 1 aircraft left out of their 3. And there's the spy plane, look. Excuse me, it's just revealed what I'm doing here. So my opponent's moving to the other side. I don't blame them. That's probably a good idea. And now they've got their service depot. Let's see. Yeah, they're building heavy tanks now. It's about time. And I set up my second expansion here because I wanted it close to this base so that I could defend both of them without having to move units very far. So I was planning on putting my refinery here. And now I've ordered a radar dome of my own. There you go. And that's because I have to counter my opponent's tech build. And that means I'm getting more flak trucks. I've got 2 here, so I'm trying to keep 3. And my opponent's attacking, and they've got the view range of the aircraft, but without vehicles, there's no screening. And it nearly destroyed the flak truck as it crashed, and my tank is just alive. So these 2 vehicles need some... yeah, I'm sending it for repairs, look. But that wasn't good. My opponent shouldn't be attacking like that without vehicles. They are not against a competent opponent. It's a joke build, basically. But now they've wised up and they've got 3 heavy tanks. But they're attacking here, and I've got the view range of these structures, base defences, and plenty of units to stop them. Look, it's just they're going to struggle here. They won't punch through this, and I was happy for them to attack. And now I'm bringing the rest of my units to cut off their escape. And look, my opponent is in trouble. And I'm building power plants, advanced power plants, so I thought, right, I need to pursue these guys because they're fleeing. So I've got my flak trucks, look, used light cavalry to pursue fleeing enemy infantry. And I couldn't get them away in time. They are very vulnerable, but that heavy tank that it was near took a lot of, did a bit of damage, I bet. But here we go. I've sent the enemy fleeing, and I've got V2s now. And that flak truck needs repairs, so I do need to build a couple more. But there's a couple of V2s, look, and I'm continuing to press my attack because I don't want my opponent to build units and recover. I'm cutting through their troops fine, but these V2s, yeah, they're doing nice work with the V2s. Look, falling back. As soon as you reloaded, fire and fall back. Look at that. Perfect example of how to use V2s. They're veterans already. View range from the aircraft. Very good, but I'm going to pursue them, so... Whoa, nice, he blew that tank away. Very nice. This V2's backing off. Waiting to reload, and my V2s are hanging back. Look at that. That's another nice shot from my opponent. And they've got a small force here, but it's idle. And they've sent paratroopers and their aircraft. Look how many of my infantry they just splattered. Ouch. Ouch. And there you go. There's some nice, basically, infiltrations and that. The capture on this guy. There's another infiltration. But my opponent's got no cash left now. And there's my enemy's attack. And there's no economy, no refinery there for them to destroy, and I'm attacking here, but my force, it's dwindling. So I've sent these two, there's now 3 thieves that I haven't used here because I captured my opponent's refinery, but look, they're attacking my MCV, my home base MCV that I moved, and I'm attacking at the base. This is where my attention is. So my thieves, I'm hoping to use them, and look, I've lost my MCV trying to escape. And I've destroyed that. The V2s are providing excellent backup. And now I'm trying to... There's my primary production, and I've ordered all my units. There's, look, some more. My thieves. Infiltration. That was over $1,500 by the looks of it. Very nice. But the second one didn't make it. And there you go. Wrecked the power plant. But I'm ordering these units away. All my units I'm ordering to attack. So I've left my base vulnerable when I had units there, look, but I've realised, sent them back, and hopefully I'll have primary production. So there we go, there. And my V2s are still trying to provide backup, and I'm clearing away this lot. But we've got 2 oil derricks each. I've got 9 ore trucks at this point. Let's check on the enemy's attack. Yeah, they've taken out my service depot, so I can't build heavy tanks anymore. And I've only got 1 construction yard, so if I'm destroying their radar dome. So if I pack up my construction yard, I can't build structures anymore. So you have to leave it in place, and otherwise you lose your build progress. But look there, look, I don't have anything to worry about. They haven't got vehicles, they're nothing. And yeah, they've done some damage, alright, but you know, I'm confident. I've got this. And now here's my attack. Tanks up front, soak up all the bullets from the enemy while I'm killing that construction yard. And now my opponent's army value is zeroed. But I left this intact so I could use some thieves and infiltrate and do the chokehold again. So I'll just get to what I was producing and see if I actually got to that. But my opponent was right to call it there because it was over. Their attack here was finished. And, you know, their infrastructure, economy, everything was wiped. So, there you go. I'll go through the graphs and charts and everything for you. Here's the army graph. And look at that, we were almost even for a good while. But I think probably my grenadier drop ruined that for me. And my opponent was ahead slightly, but it looks like we've had an engagement here at about 6.5 minutes, and my opponent's taken losses, and they haven't recovered since. Although at 10 minutes, we're both even again, until 11 minutes, when my opponent loses army value and I gain it. So that's an interesting army graph. Look at that spike I had at a crucial point in the battle. So, yeah, I handled that okay, did very well. Even if I say so myself. But my opponent did as well. It was a good game. But there's the earnings graph, and my opponent was slightly behind, and then had a slight dip. You know, about 9 minutes. That wouldn't have done them any good at all. No way. My finishing army, I've got 2 V2s, some heavy tanks, flak truck, an engineer, wherever that guy got to. Wonder what happened to... Oh yeah, I probably trained one here for the chokehold and captures. That's right. So my original engineer, was he killed? There's one. I wonder, it was over here. I wonder, I probably kept him alive. Anyway. So there's my finishing army, basic amount of infantry, not a lot at all actually. And it's a 12,000 army value, so I didn't have much, but it got the job done, and I've got tech, the stuff I need. Right, I lost 15 structures. My opponent lost 9. So, well done to him for that. I killed 189 units. My opponent killed 201. I destroyed 55,000 credits worth of my opponent's assets. My opponent destroyed 51,000 credits worth of mine, so it was a very close battle and my opponent did very well. It doesn't surprise me at all. I know they're a good player. Support powers, there are none in effect. My opponent did have some. They used spy plane and paratroopers because they had an airfield, obviously right from the start, so their support powers were counting down from very early on, which is why they got to use paratroopers and spy planes and stuff. Production, let's see. No, I wasn't yet building thieves, training thieves, although I meant to. I meant to get this barracks and have the build queue over there so I could send thieves. But obviously that's a fair distance and it would have taken a minute or two to achieve that. But that's why I left that refinery intact for the chokehold and that. It's often a good idea to build an APC just so I could drive it over there and have it ready for when I needed that sort of thing. Where that chance came up to do the chokehold or infiltrate, then have an APC ready. So if you're doing well and it looks like you're winning, then, you know, add an APC to your build queue. And when you're fighting among enemy structures and attacking enemy bases, mixing APCs in with your heavy tank production, I find is actually a good tactic, because what you find is often the odd stray rocket soldier or two destroys your heavy tanks while you're attacking an enemy base, and they have the view range advantage and stuff. But APCs can counter a lot of that and crush infantry, and they kill infantry well with the machine guns, so it's a nice extra unit for base attacks. Just add a couple of APCs to your build queue, and it will also mean you've got them on hand for transporting thieves and engineers when you need them. So in future I'm going to start doing that a bit more. I will add APCs to my vehicle production queue once I'm fighting for enemy bases and stuff. I think it's a decent idea. Economy tab. I've got 2 oil derricks. I hung on to both of mine. And I've got 9 ore trucks. I earned 98,000 credits. My opponent earned 78,000 credits. I've got 15,000 credits, so the infiltrations probably did something there. My opponent's got 6, and it wasn't like I wasn't spending. Blimey. That was quite nice. So now the basics. I was at 34 actions per minute, and my opponent was at 87 actions per minute. That might be a record from actions per minute that I've seen, at least in a long time. I can't remember seeing higher than that. 87 actions per minute. They're giving orders at an impressive rate. Yeah, didn't help, like, but fair play to them. And I've actually got myself in low power mode, but all I would do, because I'm at 430 power demand and I have 400, I would sell 2 of these refineries and it would give me enough to build another 30 power structure before and still be in normal power mode. So I'd just sell 2 of these. I'd sell this one and keep that. No, in fact, I'd sell these 2 and keep that one because it's closer. So that's all I'd do. The low power mode doesn't matter. But there's all your graphs and charts and stats. I thought I'd keep this as a slimline post and just have this game in it. This was the last game I fought, rather than adding a second one and making it a longer post. So I won't keep going on and on and on. I'll leave it at that. So I hope you like what you saw. If you did, give us a sub and a like. And thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, because I enjoyed that game. It was good. It was a good fun game, this one. So take good care of yourselves. Thanks again, and until next time, goodbye.
Battle control terminated.